I just want to say a big welcome to everybody on the team who's here this evening. And, I'm just so proud of this amazing group and RX and all of you and the incredible products that this company has and the blessing that it is. They've been in so many lives. And, tonight we have a very, very, very special guest with us, and her name is Dr. Marlisa Hurt. And she is such a special person in my life and somebody who is a very, 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 very good friend, somebody I love dearly and who's taught me so much, over this past year about wellness, about health and what it truly means to be healthy. And she's actually involved in the development of products for RX and is part of our scientific board, and she's just an amazing woman, an amazing doctor and friend. And so I asked her to join us on the call tonight because there's so many things exciting going on, especially with Slenderiix. And so I thought, let's talk about that tonight because so many of you have experienced this product, are having amazing results with this product. And, I know you have some, maybe you don't have all of the information that you'd like to have, or maybe you're wanting to know how some of the other products fits into this. And so I thought, let's just ask Dr. Hurt to be on the call and really explain it to us, what is so fantastic about this product, why it works, and share her amazing knowledge with all of us to empower us to not only for ourselves to use the product, but to be able to share it with others. There's a lot of medical doctors and holistic doctors with us tonight and wellness providers, and so it's really important that, you have a clear understanding of just how powerful this product is and how many lives it's going to change. So with that, I'm going to first make sure Marlisa is here. So Dr. Hurt, are you on the line, first off?
I sure am, Lynn. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, that's awesome. So, Marlisa, where I want you to start, I know you, so well, and we've shared some of this, but I know you've told me that, you've worked for many years in the weight loss field and, you have up close and fantastic knowledge about what makes products work, and I know you have an amazing passion for Slenderiix. So can you just tell us, let's just start there, tell us what makes this product different, what sets it apart, and why are you so excited to be sharing Slenderiix with the world?
Well, the thing that's so unique about Slenderiix is it really works and there are no downsides. For the last 7 years, I've actually worked in a private holistic health center that was on the campus of one of our major hospitals here in Virginia. And I've had the privilege of counseling hundreds of people who had come to me feeling like they had been genetic losers, that they had been dealt a bad hand and were destined to be fat and unhealthy and live a life of pain because they'd never known anything else. And over the last 7 years, I've been able to work with people to lose, anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds to 100 or 150 pounds. And many, many years later, they've been able to keep their weight off. And one of the most important things is learning that we are not genetic winners or losers. We are all choosers. And when we choose Slenderiix, amazing things happen. Some of the programs that I've been involved with in the past, the early part of that 7 years, I was involved in a lot of the research surrounding the HCG diet. And a lot of people have heard about that. It was an extremely calorie-restricted program, 500 calories. If you ate, everything else right on that diet, you had to give yourself a daily injection, which scared a lot of people to death, and it does have, a significant risk if you don't get the air bubble out of the needle. There's a lot of issues, a lot of risks with that. And so in order to think that they had found the one thing that would help them turn back the clock and give them a chance at being healthy and slender, people had to psych themselves up for months to be willing to go for that program. And we did have some success at the beginning, and then there turned out to be too many dangerous side effects with that, and it was really disappointing. And we moved on to several other programs. But the thing that's really interesting to me is that of all the programs that are out there that are typical weight loss club types of places. You know, a lot of people love to be able to have the camaraderie and the partnership of making lifestyle changes with another person. And so things like Weight Watchers or, you know, group type of events or some place that gives you some type of contact and community and the ability to relate with people, that's when the statistics have shown that you're 3 times more successful if you have 2 friends that join with you for accountability. The problem is we'd have friends that were joining in together and they would be doing these extreme low-calorie diets, and it was just starving themselves on shakes that were filled with sugar and starch and powdered trees, like that's what cellulose is, powdered trees, and filling themselves up with fiber that was still completely devoid of nutrients. And they would lose weight initially, but they would wish they were dead because they'd be walking around with no energy, certainly didn't have the energy to exercise, their hair would fall out, their skin would look terrible, and they'd look like shrunken prunes that still had a big pot belly. And that's what happens when you just deprive yourself of calories in order to try to be thinner. And what's so exciting about the Slenderiix weight management program is the results. The results that we get with Slenderiix are phenomenal. You do not end up having shriveled skin. You do not end up with the same body shape that you had before you started, only smaller, and you can barely cart yourself around when you weigh 50 pounds less than you did before because you're so exhausted because your body's not being fueled. We have the direct opposite result. With Slenderiix, when you look at before and after pictures of people, you can see that the thing that makes this program unique is that it targets the abnormal fat deposits. And in most people, whether it be men or women, abnormal fat that is the most dangerous to your health risks for developing either heart disease or cancers, it accumulates around the middle. And there isn't another diet that I've ever worked with that specifically targets weight gain around the middle and has no side effects. So the wonderful thing, I love to say that when I find things to put in my lifestyle, I picture it like a basket that I'm carrying on my arm. And the more good things I learn about what to contribute to my daily life, I will do research on it, and I'll put it in my basket, and I'll wear that decision for a while and see how that flushes out. And if there's any bad that comes along with that good, I chuck it out of my basket. I don't want anything that has bad that comes along with the good. And the most exciting thing about Slenderiix is it's all good. You lose the belly fat. You lose the abnormal fat deposits on the outer thighs in women and the backs of the arms. But when you look at the before and after pictures, mainly that stomach fat, which is an abnormal fat deposit, that contributes to the risk of heart disease and cancers, and it chokes out the internal organs from being able to function at their peak. And over time, it develops its own hormonal capacity. It becomes another endocrine organ, we call it in medicine, that in addition to your regular endocrine organs, which in women would be, your ovaries, your breast tissue, things that generate hormones or that have receptor sites for hormones, this abnormal fat starts to generate hormones that make you even fatter. So it is the most dangerous type of fat for our future health, and it's the most difficult, it has been the most difficult type of fat to lose by just calorie restriction because it's been proven it takes 90 days of starvation before you can even access that type of fat to burn for fuel. And the wonderful thing about Slenderiix, with it being a homeopathic product, it's completely safe. It's all natural, and it gives your body this detoxification and the ability for the way that your body, your brain signals your body to respond to the food that you're eating. It's like pressing the reset button. The underlying problem with why people start packing on weight around the middle is it's like your internal Wi-Fi in your brain. It's called the hypothalamus pituitary axis, or the HPA axis. And that gets thrown off by severe emotional stress, by working shift work where you're not seeing sunlight in the daytime and darkness at night, and you don't have your body on a regular clock. It can come from the preservatives in processed foods. Glutamates are a special category of flavor enhancers. A lot of people are aware of MSG, but there's a lot of other ones in there. Doritos contain over 11 types of glutamate flavor enhancers. Those types of residues in our common food supply mess up your brain's hypothalamus pituitary axis, or your internal Wi-Fi, your brain's ability to communicate with your body to respond to the food that you eat in a healthy way. And because this cell signaling, or this pre-programmed response, gets thrown off, this is why I have people that come to me all the time saying, you know, I went through a terrible divorce and I gained 60 pounds, and I've always exercised to try to manage my stress, and I really don't eat that much. And the problem is, it's not just eat less, exercise more, like has been told since 1980. We've realized that the state of our environment today, the toxins, the unwanted things that are in the prepared foods and the convenience foods, have taken a tremendous toll on our health. And they have affected our brain's signaling in the way that we respond when we put food in our bodies. And you could make a switch and start putting fuel foods in your body, like fruits and vegetables and clean proteins and healthy fats, and exercising for, doing your 20-minute walk every day, and nothing's changing. And people get so frustrated and they give up. And the wonderful thing about Slenderiix is this is what gives, it's like pressing the easy button. It detoxifies as it nourishes. It helps your brain to be able to respond the proper way to the food that you're eating very quickly. In a matter of 48 hours, you're on the path to being able to reset a healthy response to the food that you're eating. And when you complement that by choosing good foods, you get rock star results very quickly. So even people that have been cheaters, I have to say, it really is amazing. Even people that have done a little bit of cheating here and there have still had phenomenal results. So there's a lot of great...
That would be me, Marlisa.
Lynn, say it isn't so.
Well, I want to comment on something that you just said that is hitting home for me, because, I've done every diet on the planet and tried everything. And what you said about that excess fat around the belly and how it targets that, and how simple this is, I've lost 7.5 inches on my waist. And,
wow.
I tried my best. I followed the eating plan pretty well. But this is a call for the team when everybody's being honest. And, I wasn't always at my best. So, there were times that I cheated, and yet I've still lost just an amazing amount of weight and felt so fabulous along the way. And so, Marlisa, can you talk about the Accelerate, the partner to Slenderiix, because it is a 2-part plan, the 2 different bottles. And I wonder if you could share with us why the Accelerate is so powerful and what's in it that makes us feel so amazingly energetic and good.
Well, the core of the formula is a liquid, all-natural B vitamin, and it's the methyl form of B vitamins. There are several types of synthetic sources for B vitamins, and those we refer to as analog vitamin B. Anyone that's ever been on a birth control pill is permanently disabled from being able to absorb and manufacture vitamin B, especially B6, from your food. And so many people, I don't think anyone really is given that as a possible side effect when they're put on a birth control pill or when they take a Depo-Provera shot. They don't realize that it might have some long-term side effects on their metabolism. So a B vitamin deficiency is so common with people who have low energy, chronic migraines, depression, just, a general feeling of malaise, chronic body pain, and ability to just want to participate in your own life. Another really huge factor is heart disease. B vitamin deficiency is also a huge part of why the liver overproduces homocysteine, which is like these little tiny molecules that would appear to have chainsaw blades running around the outside of them. And when they go through your arteries, they cause little nicks. And that's what stimulates the body to start overproducing cholesterol to come and fill in those nicks so you don't bleed to death. There is no pharmaceutical cure for homocysteine. There's no drug that people can write. So doctors rarely order a homocysteine test because there isn't a drug to write against homocysteine to lower the homocysteine. But B vitamins reverse that stress in the liver that causes the homocysteine to be produced. And so therefore it directly reduces the risk of heart disease by lowering homocysteine. So that's a huge, huge issue. And also when you have a low vitamin B status, the B vitamins actually give the liver the ability to suspend bile salts and that give you the ability to absorb vitamin A and D, which are really critical for blood sugar management, for effective hormone production, to maintain youthful hormone levels. This is the foundation of your immune system. And so if you're deficient in B vitamins, you are not able to absorb your fat-soluble vitamins. Even when you go out in the sun and you pick up vitamin D through your skin, if you're deficient in vitamin B, you're going to feel like it takes a lot more time in the sun, more so to a dangerous line of this possibly might be giving me skin cancer, and I can't get my vitamin D levels up. Well, why not? Because you're deficient in B vitamins. And it's been estimated actually by the Center for Disease Control that over 90% of Americans are seriously deficient in B vitamins. So it really is an important part of the foundation of our products and just giving the body's ability to digest and absorb foods properly so that we get the full vitamin value out of the foods that we're eating, as well as the supplements that we're taking along with the Slenderiix program. And because vitamins A and D are so critical to having a high-functioning metabolism and immune system, that's how the vitamin B plays into supporting the whole optimal metabolic maximum there for your internal organs. The other things that are in there are considered adaptogens, and we have some adaptogenic herbs. Ashwagandha is one of my very favorite things for helping people to deal with stress. And I first learned about this probably about 10 years ago. I found a study that was referring to Russian soldiers during wartime, and they found that this plant grew in very cold climates, and anything that can survive in a very difficult climate that's a plant, it has all of these extra things that are part of its essence that give it the ability to thrive in a difficult environment, to protect the plant and allow it to continue to live. So they found that when they supplemented soldiers who were exhausted and going on extremely low rations, mental fatigue, depression, starving, weakness, no shoes, walking in the snow, just low supplies. And they found that when they gave them ashwagandha and rhodiola, that these things gave them the ability to not feel the effects of stress. It actually enhanced their resiliency. And every American, and other people too, everyone in the whole world, we are all overstressed and undernourished because we choose convenience foods because we work too hard. Or some of us play too hard and don't get enough sleep. But everybody can benefit by the soothing balm that these adaptogenic herbs have on the brain chemistry. And when you get your chemistry right, that's the beginning of being able to strong-arm your ship and turn it into a different direction and have a permanent change. So those are my favorite things about, basically it is your anti-stress drop. It helps cover a multitude of stresses. It doesn't matter where the stress is coming from. Adding extra B vitamins as well as those adaptogenic herbs, it really is like better than a shot in the arm. It really helps your body to recharge your cells and your energy capacity as well as your ability to absorb more nutrients from the foods you're eating.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm glad we're recording this because the knowledge that you have is just amazing. And, I'm looking at these two products together, and I'm taking them, and I know that you've had so many people on these products as well, and there's been, case studies over a couple of years, and thousands of people, and the results have been phenomenal. But I'm wondering, for me, I found it that my appetite was suppressed, my energy was big. I mean, are you finding that, or is there something in here specifically that you think helps suppress the appetite, where people, they're all saying to me, I'm not having the cravings. I mean, within the first week, people are telling me that their cravings are gone and they aren't hungry like they were before. Can you address that?
Yes. That is a perfect way to put what I was trying to explain about the brain's signaling. When that hypothalamus pituitary axis dysregulation is the medical term for what you just described. When we eat foods that are not nutritionally dense, that are not fueling our bodies, we end up having cravings all the time. And it's not because we have a broken stomach alarm. It's because your brain is sensing you're eating stuff. It might have a ton of calories, but it doesn't have the nutrients that we need to thrive and to be fueled. And so when you combine the easy button resetting effect of all of those homeopathic ingredients, there are things in there specifically that do suppress the appetite, that do give your body the ability to get over that initial hump. A lot of times people look at our food list and they say, well, I've been eating at the drive-thru. I go to McDonald's for breakfast and KFC for lunch and Taco Bell for dinner, and I don't know how to cook a piece of chicken. I've never eaten a piece of broccoli, and I could never eat those things. The thing is, if you didn't have the Slenderiix, it is virtually impossible to get away from the chemical addiction that you're experiencing when you eat processed food. And that's why people have such a hard time sticking with restricted calorie diets without something like Slenderiix, because the chemicals in the processed food have such a deep hold on you, and they're put in there to create actual addictions in interacting with your brain chemistry. That's what the glutamates do, the MSG and the other flavor enhancers that I was talking about earlier. Those things are very, very difficult to withdraw from. And that's one of the reasons why Slenderiix is so powerful as a weight loss aid, because it overcomes that chemical addiction for you. I don't even know if I'm really supposed to say that, but that's what it's doing. So I'm saying it. You might have to bleep it out of the recording, but it's the crutch. It's the bridge that gets you to the other side. And if you can stick with it for 3 days and drink your water and make sure you don't miss your drops, and you stop eating the fast food, you will make the rest of your journey so much easier, because the drops, it's like they cover the chemical effects of the junk food and the processed foods that are so hard for people to withdraw from, because it truly is a chemical addiction at the brain level. And that's why the Avena sativa, Nux vomica, the things that are in there, they have a very soothing effect on the brain chemistry, as well as getting away from those things can cause nausea and vomiting, typical withdrawal responses when you think about somebody who's experiencing a withdrawal from a drug like morphine or any type of addictive substances. Often people are nauseous and start vomiting. So those things are in our homeopathic formula in order to help anticipate the withdrawal from the processed foods. And that's why you feel terrific, because you don't have to go through that withdrawal. And that's also why we have the 2 days at the initial loading period, to just allow your body to get used to taking the drops while you continue eating your regular food, and allow it to completely get well circulated throughout your body. And I typically just recommend that people really focus well for those first 2 days on figuring out how much is enough water for them to drink, because getting plenty of water is going to be important for detoxing all those past chemical foods, as well as circulating that medicine throughout all the cells of your body. But that is why the Slenderiix and Accelerator are so powerful at helping people just get started on a whole new healthy lifestyle. Most people are willing, but they just can't overcome the withdrawal from the convenience food addictions on their own, and that is getting out of the starting gate is where most people fail with other programs, and that is one of the things that makes this so unique and people so successful with our program.
That's awesome. And as somebody who's dieted most of their life, I can, that is what has always stopped me. I was starving. I wanted the food. And with this, I've changed my relationship with food completely because I want healthier food, and I don't need as much of it to be full. And now I understand why, based on what you just said, because I'm giving my body what it needs, so I'm not having the cravings. And I'm just so grateful for this product. And, what about, Dr. Hurt, what about any contraindications as far as medications that people are taking? How does it work with that? Are there any, or is there anything, anybody you wouldn't recommend take this?
Well, I never recommend anybody that's pregnant or nursing try to lose weight, and specifically with nursing mothers, when you start to detoxify your body, all the lifetime accumulation of stored toxins, which your body actually sends things that it can't use, which are toxins like food preservatives and anything that doesn't act as nutrition for your body, in order to save or spare the core organs from having to deal with that extra load of stuff that isn't helping to nourish the body will actually generate and create fat stores to find a place to hide all those toxins in. So even if you're not eating too many calories, but you're eating a lot of junk that has chemicals in it, your body is going to create fat stores to just get those things out of circulation to protect your organs. So when you start to burn up fat, those toxins are now homeless, and now they're recirculating around in your body again. And if you're a nursing mother, breast milk is a body fluid, and all of the toxins get washed out through the lymph system and through the glands. So if you're a nursing mother and you're losing weight, your lifetime accumulation of toxins is now being funneled through your breast milk and into your baby, which is extremely dangerous because the baby's brain, the cells are still dividing so rapidly in that first year of life, and it's like a little sponge. Developing tissue is hundreds of times more susceptible to toxins and damage from toxins than mature tissue. So you can excrete those things safely from your body, and your brain is not going to be affected by it, but your baby's life is going to be changed forever. So I never recommend anyone try to lose weight. It's not because the homeopathic medication would be dangerous to the baby. It's because of the things that are in your body that will be unleashed that would be dangerous to the baby. So I never recommend weight loss to a nursing mother. As far as that goes, I've actually personally had children as young as 10 use the product with great success. I don't count the calories. We just, use healthy foods. We don't even talk about it being a diet. I just say, open your mouth, and this is going to help you feel better. It's going to help you love being on the trampoline, or, it's going to give you more energy for your day, which it does. But I am very careful with young people to not imprint them that there's something wrong with them or something wrong with their bodies, and I'm very careful to try to make sure that any type of support at helping them make healthier choices is in an encouraging and a positive way. As far as medicine goes, homeopathic medicine does not interfere with prescription drugs at all, so there's no worry there. I always recommend that people take their drops 15 minutes before they eat or drink anything, and at least a half an hour. I would just take it away from medicine, just because we want you to have an empty stomach so that you get the full absorption of the homeopathic solution. Did I forget anything that you just asked? I'm trying to.
No, I just wanted to check on that. Now, the instructions that we have, I just want to clarify this because I know there's people here thinking that because we're told to take it 10 minutes before. And that's what, before, have an empty stomach 10 minutes after, before you eat or drink anything. So, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, that's probably fine. I just speaking in general terms of using all homeopathic medicine, but I think, 15 minutes is enough time too. Okay.
So one more question that I have that, and I don't know the reason for this, but I do know that I have gone off the product and I haven't had any rebound weight gain. I'm not sure why. I know I'm eating different. I know my relationship with food has completely changed, but is there something in Accelerate or Slenderiix, something you could talk about that tells us why people are not gaining the weight back when they stop taking it? Because that is huge, because every diet I've ever been on is the minute I went off, I gained the weight back and then some. So can you share a little bit about that, about why there isn't any rebound for most people?
Well, I do want to mention that I feel it's very important for you to stay on the program for at least 8 weeks. If you reach your goal weight at 5 weeks, I would still recommend staying on it to maintain that weight by adding an additional amount of protein for the duration of a full 8 weeks. That's just my personal experience, and it's because of what I talked about with the hypothalamus pituitary dysregulation. That gets disrupted from stress and from the chemicals in our food, and what we're trying to do is reset that. So we're trying to reset the way that our body responds to food, and that's exactly what you've experienced. Over time, you have learned how to create a food plan for yourself based on foods that are nutrient dense, that are really healthy and are putting fuel in your body, not foods that just take up space like Pop-Tarts. Nothing in there that's going to give you any fuel. You might get a little sugar, which is going to keep you, from passing out of hypoglycemia or something, but it's not going to really give you a charge. You're going to feel like taking a nap, because when you eat things that have sugar, starch, and vegetable oil, your body responds by going into fat storage mode. So when you change your foods to healthier foods over a period of time, you experience that resetting of the way that your body responds to food, or you reset your hypothalamus pituitary axis. And that's why the B vitamins, the anti-stress herbs are so important to work together, because the whole thing really undergirds your whole body's response in the way it handles the food that you put into your body. Now, I will tell you, if you eat really healthy food for 2 months and then you go back to, not that you did this, but if one were to go back to eating Krispy Kremes for breakfast and KFC for lunch, the weight will come back. But the thing that's really unique is that people do not want those foods that do not fuel their body anymore. Your brain is reset, and it tells you to go for the good food. You don't have a taste for those things anymore. But if you were to test yourself and say, I think I'm going to just go back to eating jelly donuts for a week and cheeseburgers and French fries and see what happens, well, guess what? Those food chemicals are going to affect you again, and you are going to tear down that hypothalamus pituitary axis once again. So but if you go through the program and you continue to make healthy choices, you'll realize that your body will tell you when you're hungry, and you can trust what it's telling you. Before you go on the program and that HPA axis is disrupted, we experience cravings, and we feel like we need to eat all the time, and we go, what do I feel like eating? Potato chips, that's what I feel like I need. No one can eat just one. Actually, I ate the whole bag. Well, how did that happen? That was only 5 minutes ago. Those things go away when you put fuel into your body along with the anti-stress nutrients that are in our formula. So the long-term effect is, if you continue those habits, you'll realize your body is capable of eating more calories without gaining weight, because it responds in a healthy way to food again.
Well, and here's something so interesting. I just have to share this. I just returned from being gone for 4.5 days, and while I'm on the plane, they were serving breakfast. I got upgraded, and they were serving food, and the food choice was an omelet or Cheerios, or cereal or something. So my body automatically wants the protein, and then they come walking by with a basket, and she said, "Would you like a bagel or a croissant?" And it was the most amazing thing, and this is what tells me my brain is different, because ordinarily I'd probably take one of each, and this time I looked at that and I just said, no, thank you. And I had this visual in my mind of a bagel, this big doughy bagel sitting inside my body, and I'm thinking, what good is that going to do me? It's going to feel horrible inside, and there's not an ounce of nutrition in there. And that's where my brain went when I was thinking about all this, and I thought, oh, my gosh, am I a new person or what? It was incredible, the whole thought process. Right after I said no, I thought, why would I put that in my body? And that, it just blows me away. This is just such an amazing product. It's changed my life completely. So, Marlisa, one more question, because our call usually lasts about 45 minutes. So there are so many amazing products that RX has, that go along with this, from shakes to so many things. And I know we don't have time to cover it all, but I know you have a passion for RestoreX and the role that it plays in losing weight. And I share that passion because I've learned it from you. And I'm just wondering if you can take the next few minutes, and we'll close the call with that. But just can you share what RestoreX is and what part it plays in helping people to reduce weight quicker, and why everybody should be on that product as well?
Yes, I think if you're trying to prioritize and do the minimum amount to get started, the absolute minimum that I would recommend is using the RestoreX along with the Slenderiix and the Accelerate. And that is because the toxic load of our environment is so dangerous to your future health, as well as the ability to not have plateaus during your weight loss. One of the biggest reasons why people experience plateaus is because, like I said a little bit earlier, when those fat cells are burnt up, the toxins that used to live there are now freed up. And RestoreX acts like a liquid sponge to go down into your stomach. It hangs out in your digestive tract, and it's like a magnet for all of those unwanted substances that have just recently been freed up into your body. And because it has a unique, if you were to look at it underneath a really high-powered microscope, you'd see that these nanoparticle size, the molecular shape of these nanoparticles is like a little honeycomb. So it has little storage compartments in it, and it is like a magnet. And so it absorbs the toxins, the chemical residues that have been sabotaging our metabolisms, and it pulls them inside itself, and then it's just carried out of the body through the normal digestive process. So it's really a wonderful thing. The base of that mineral is called zeolite. It's the base of the formula. And then it's also enhanced with organic spirulina, chlorella, chia seeds. It has natural lemon and ginger flavors added to it. All those extra green foods, nobody ever gets enough green foods, and green foods are the blood purifiers. So in addition to help reducing the acid, which when we have lots of toxins in our bodies, it messes up the alkaline acid. It messes up the pH balance, which makes it more difficult to lose weight. So by adding 1 scoop of RestoreX into 16 ounces of water every morning when you wake up, this will give your body the ability to absorb all the toxins that your eliminative organs have been working all night long to try to remove. And one thing that I love to talk about the RestoreX is the reason why taking it in the morning is so much more effective is because
Marlisa, I'm going to stop you a second. Somebody is not muted because I'm hearing all kinds of babies and kid noise in the back. I'm not sure what we need to do with that, or if, Rick, you can handle it from your end, but somebody needs to mute out because this is such valuable information. I just don't want to miss anything. Sorry, Marlisa, please go ahead.
No problem. So when we rest at night, our liver and our kidneys work really hard. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important when you're doing a weight loss program to make sure that you get the rest that you need. Because just as important as the work that you do during the day at making sure you get your healthy foods in and that you take your drops and you get really well hydrated, just as important as that is having enough time for your body to rest. And you can actually burn quite a bit of fat while you're asleep if you have set yourself up for success during the day. And one of these reasons is the liver detoxes during the night when you're asleep. There's a phase 1 of liver detox, and then you go into a deeper stage of phase 2 liver detox sometime between 2 and 3 in the morning. So getting plenty of of good rest, making sure it's on your calendar is one of the most important ways to make sure that you're set up for success for this program. But also one of the reasons why, when you wake up in the morning, you should brush your teeth and your tongue, because the whole surface of your digestive tract, which the beginning of it is in your mouth with your tongue, the whole skin surface going from your mouth all the way down and out the other end, your body pulls toxins from your lymph system and pushes them to the surface of your digestive tract. So when you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth and tongue. This is going to help make sure you've got a nice clean surface where you can reach. And then when you take your RestoreX, it goes down there and it all the way down your digestive tract. It makes a little coating that helps to pull those toxins that have been moved to the surface while you've been asleep. It helps to absorb them and carry them out of your body. And it does not cause any type of bowel emergencies at all. People are always a little bit nervous when they hear the word cleansing or detoxifying. It does not cause any type of stimulation effect on the bowels. It purifies as it nourishes, because it is made up of all superfood ingredients that are very purifying but also very nourishing as well. So to me, that is the most important product as an accompaniment to the Slenderiix and the Accelerate to have great success. And it prevents people can have, when you stop losing weight, and you're still doing everything right, you haven't cheated. People get very discouraged if they have
plateau.
A plateau. And one of the reasons that is the body just has to get caught up on all the toxins that have been released, and you need to make sure you drink more water. And oftentimes I actually recommend that instead of a snack in the afternoon, people just do a second scoop of RestoreX in the afternoon between lunch and dinner, and that often helps them to be able to move through a plateau a little bit quicker, because it's it just enhances the body's ability to detoxify all those stored toxins that are being freed up when the fat is being burned.
Marlisa, this is such important information for everybody on this call, because a lot of times when people start the drops, they want to take just the drops. And yes, I have people who use just the drops and they lose weight, absolutely. But I know the value of the RestoreX, and I know about the plateauing because I did this for 4 months, and I know what that did for my body. And of course, then the optimals, because having the optimal nutrition with your vitamins and minerals is key, and also Rejuvenex, and I know you're passionate about that as well, and the energy boost and the superfruits, and that would be another whole day's call, because there's so many wonderful things here, and I'm just so excited about this product. And there's such an obesity epidemic in our society, and I know that understanding this and getting on these products and taking responsibility for our health and getting our weight off and sharing it with others is how we're going to impact the world and this obesity crisis that we have. And immediately when I heard you say you've given it to children as young as 9, I think you said, or 10, I'm thinking about all of the teenagers. I'm thinking about, kids in high school that are bullied, because they have all this weight on them and they can't get it off. And I just feel such a huge responsibility to share this product, to share these products and help reach out to people and have them experience the benefit of what this does, because losing the weight it's not just a vanity thing. Obviously, it's about health and about taking care of your body and the way that it affects your self-esteem and every other aspect of so many people's lives. It's done so much to damage our world, and I've just never been more proud of anything, and I know what this product will do. And so I'm going to close the call tonight by saying thank you so much to Dr. Marlisa Hurt. That was incredible information. I'm getting texts all over the place of people saying, when is this going to be available? When can we have this? Can we have a recording of this? Because so many people couldn't be here. And this information is just invaluable, and it's going to really help people to understand the value of these products and why they should take it. And I believe every person on the planet should be on RestoreX. I am such an avid supporter of that product. I take it every morning as soon as I get out of bed to start my day by getting rid of all those toxins, that were coming out and coming to the surface overnight, and I feel absolutely amazing. So with that, I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. And again, Dr. Marlisa Hurt, I just want to let you know that we appreciate you so much and all of your words and your wisdom, and you definitely are making such a difference for all of us. And I love you so much, and thank you for being with us tonight. Everybody, good night. Thanks for being here.